When somebody asks you what you are, you will say, well, I'm a human. But you say that because everybody agrees that what human represent. Oh, I'm energy, I'm light. But what is the truth? The truth is that you don't even know what you are. You know that you are, that's true. But do you really know what you are? Do you think you know what you are? I don't think so.
I have woken up in other people's bodies where I know I'm not in my own body, where I'm looking through another person's eyes and looking out at the world that they see, and it ain't me that I'm seeing.
Well, it turns out that 50 years ago, we couldn't even think of this as a strange idea. 30 years ago, you couldn't talk about it over the dinner table. But what's happening now?
Now you set the intention to find something and to align with something, it's going to come into your existence.
Knowing that I am a soul and that all of the people that I interrelate with are souls completely alters my perspective of how to live life day by day and moment by moment.
How do you give them that knowledge, or how do they come to know for themselves that there's more?
I see a dumbing down of America right now. It's a dumbing down that I do not think is best. I think it is appeal to our lowest nature as opposed to our highest nature.
Humankind, mankind, consciousness itself is evolving into something that it wasn't before. And we're part of that. We're one of those cogs in the wheel on the evolution of human consciousness.
What we're evolving into is what we as human beings create. It's an evolving process. We're in a total process that's evolving all the time, and that we are part of the creation of it.
As all civilizations before us have asked the question, who are we, how did we get here, and what is this really all about? Our scientific cosmology at that point, and even today, suggests that it's all a cosmic accident. And of course, opposing that is the idealist cosmology, which says that consciousness is the fundamental stuff, and that all matter arose from concepts in consciousness. So here we had what science was telling us about our origins and our traditions, normally our religious traditions.
I draw a distinction between spirituality and religion. A religion is when a group encodes certain beliefs and traditions, and an individual is either born into that group or joins that group and adopts those beliefs and traditions for their own. A path that's spiritual is often more individual, where someone might even be a member of a religious group, but then has a profound experience, such as a near-death experience, or a personal
mystical experience of the divine, and then the religion doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean the religion is wrong. It's just that people are having a more direct experience in which it's not so much belief anymore, but an actual knowing, or what I call faith.
Always my interest in magic is what keeps me going into the study of the weird stuff like life after death and who's the big G? Is there a big G? Or is it just all a big law of the universe that we exist like this?
They put an image of God like a very old man with long beard, or like a human with the head of an elephant. You see, all those traditions projects what they believe is God, and it's obviously just mythology. Even that mythology, it came because represents something that was true, and now what the religion project is images that have nothing to do really with God.
We are in true nature sitting around a campfire with the light of God shining upon us. Behind us in the forest are dancing silhouettes of our persons sitting around the fire of God, the light of God radiating, and it is the shadows, the silhouettes on the forest behind us. Those dancing silhouettes are what we are now in the physical body. There's no substance to them, no permanence to them, they're just dancing silhouettes. The true, permanent, solid reality is us sitting around the light of God.
The basic matter, the flesh, the emotions, the feelings, nature that we have as humans is not markedly different than what animals have. And certainly we see that in the higher primates who are closer to us in not only their DNA, but in their behavior and in their social behavior and their interaction with one another. So we cannot assume any longer that we're really not animals, that we're apart from nature in this regard. That's an old myth that's utterly wrong. We call our intuitive capabilities our sixth sense, and that's just dead wrong. They should be called our first sense. We have become more left brain and screened out these intuitive right brain capabilities that seem to be natural, that seem to be a part of our basic nature.
If we go back in time, anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 years, we go back in time that far, we discover that most cultures of the world were mystical. And mystical means that the soul has continuity. Mystical means that we exist in body and we exist in spirit. What has happened over the last 1,500 years is that we have become very scientific, we need to be very grounded, and many groups of people have lost the belief structure that the soul has continuity and lives lifetime to lifetime and in between lifetimes.
Belief systems have been handed down through the ages. Now, you have an opportunity through what we do, in a way, to explore that. You know, look into that belief system. Can you turn that belief into a known? Or is it just a belief system? The only way you do that is through exploration. That is the key.
From space, the heavens are 10 times as bright because of the lack of intervening atmosphere. So that means 10 times as numerous stars. So what happened is I was looking at that. And as I had learned from my astronomy studies and my astronomy studies at MIT inside, a unity, a connectedness to all of that. And that was a new experience. It was a powerful experience, an ecstasy, accompanied by a blissful feeling. And this continued when I had a few moments to look out the window, all the way home for 3 days. And I realized I had to understand what this experience was. It was far beyond anything I had experienced before.
33.5 hours after they landed, Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell lifted off in the silent vacuum of the moon.
Gas engine is armed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This is the ignition. What a liftoff. And liftoff. Roger, ignition. Boom. Switch over. 10 seconds. Roger. Hey, baby. Switch over is good.
It's probably being more accepted today because so many more people are having these experiences, or awakening to these experiences, and are questioning a little bit more. And I think, again, this is part of the evolving process, that everything's evolving. And so we're evolving into becoming more awake and more conscious of the energy of who we are. You know, it's the old saying that we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Of course that the soul exists, but people misinterpret what is soul. They create that it's a ghost. No, it's not a ghost. The soul is a force. It's a force that begins in the moment of conception.